Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and the gummy worm fruit has evading me on many continents for years, and now it's mocking me here in a greenhouse in Germany where I least expected a more or less mature tree with big gummy worm fruits. Cecropia is quite a famous tree for three different reasons, and the funny thing is, whenever you find something online about this thing, usually most websites will concentrate only on one of those three most important features and usually completely omit the others or just mention them. Well, it's a plant of like South America. It's in the Urticaceae, in the stinging nettle families. In the stinging nettle family. That doesn't mean that it's gonna sting you. Most plants in the stinging nettle family don't actually sting you, but many of them are edible. And yes, many of them produce edible fruits. So when you look at this tree, you can see one thing. Okay, it's growing very tall and thin and branching just up there. This could be due to it growing here in a German greenhouse. But no, this is actually very typical for it. It can colonize holes in the rainforest, like if there was a flood or a tree fell down or people passed and cut down the rainforest. This is a pioneer tree, very quick colonizer, producing very soft, very weak wood. But because the wood is hollow, unlike, for example, the balsa tree here, which has a similar function in similar ecosystems, this one hasn't really made it to be an important timber tree. But since it's growing so fast, it is actually invasive in many tropical areas in the world. For example, in Java, in Indonesia, in the area of Jakarta, I saw it everywhere. And everywhere the half-ripe fruits were hanging around. So its invasiveness is one of its main features, and yes, there are websites that concentrate on its invasiveness, how you shouldn't let it spread anymore, how you should fight it, and so on. The second thing is its symbiosis with ants. It seems this thing is pretty tasty, also doesn't have many intrinsic defense mechanisms, so it provides food for ants, and the ants, they colonize this tree. Then the ants defend it against other insects, against bigger animals that try to eat the leaves. They snip off epiphytes and drop them. In the tropical rainforest, epiphytes can weigh down a tree and damage it, so the ants will basically toss them down. The ants are very susceptible to woodpeckers. More susceptible if they were living on the ground. When they're up on this tree on those long naked branches, woodpeckers will attack them. And woodpeckers will also damage the wood, which you think would be a big problem for ants and for the tree, but nope. Both profit from this, because when the woodpeckers make holes in the wood, the ants can actually colonize the hollow inside and spend their whole lives on the tree. So a crazy triangle. On the first sight it looks like a predatory relationship, but it's basically kind of a symbiotic one. Yeah, and the three most important thing, especially with fruit lovers, are the so-called gummy worm fruits. Look at those. They're about 20-30 centimeters long, hanging in clusters, and they are supposed to be incredibly delicious. For the first time I found such a tree in Tenerife, growing right next to the main market of Santa Cruz, and I thought, this looks edible, I have to find out what this is. I found out what it is, and then I started hunting for this tree around Java, around Borneo, in Singapore, in so many places. And the funny thing is, usually I just see, well, those fruits or inflorescences, but They are not ripe. Once I saw ripe stuff in Putrajaya Botanic Gardens in Malaysia. However, that was just after a gang of monkeys had passed, and so I didn't. There was a gummy worm fruit on the ground, but it looked kind of disgusting, and I thought the monkey had brought it there and probably chewed on it, so I didn't eat it. Let's see here. So there are a lot of those things up there, but they seem to be considerably smaller than the things people eat in YouTube videos. Here are a couple on the ground. Those are supposed to be juicy and really tasty. However, this stuff is dry. Here, another one. Just as dry, looking pretty unpleasant. What is this? Is this another one? Yes. Dry. It's like eating sand or sawdust. Well, there is only one tree here, but those things are dioecious, so you need a male and a female tree. I guess that's the female tree since it has the gummy worms, but I don't see anything resembling a male tree around here. Guess the gummy worms are unpollinated. So sad, folks, so sad. Why is this thing mocking me everywhere? Was mocking me in Java, was mocking me in Singapore, was mocking me in Borneo, was mocking me in Tenerife, was mocking me in Malaysia. Tell me if you have experience with the gummy worms. Where can I eat them? Do they maybe grow all the way to Southern Europe? I want to spend some time in Southern Europe this year. If not, do they fruit on the Canary Islands? Tell me please, folks. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos, hopefully soon with tasty ripe gummy worms from I don't care wherever. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.